This micro-credential deals with basic blueprint reading in the welding industry and covers 3 targeted skills. This targeted skill covers lines on a blueprint. There are many different types of lines that are used when drawing a blueprint. If a person were to only use a straight line to draw a print, there would be much confusion. It is because of this that a series of different lines have been developed to communicate different things. There are a total of 10 different lines that could be used when drawing a blueprint. There are 2 different types of break lines. This shows the variation between a short and long break line. The first type of line is called an object line. An object line is a heavy solid line that is used to show the shape of an object. Think of an object line as a solid line in the center of the road. When drawing a blueprint, you use an object line to represent the physical shape of the object in the drawing. A hidden line is a medium-sized line that is broken up with even-spaced dashes. It is used to show concealed edges within a part. For example, you may not be able to see a support beam from a front view. In order to represent that the support beam is physically there, but you cannot see it, an engineer will use a hidden line to represent the beam. Think of a hidden line as a dashed line in the center of a road. A center line is a line that is made up of a series of long and short dashes. A center line is used to show the center of an object. Center lines are most commonly used on round objects such as pipes, holes, and round stock. An extension line is a thin line used at the edge of a given part and is represented with a thin line. It is used to represent a precise start and stop point where the measurement is taken from. In order to communicate a dimension of a part, an engineer will use a dimension line. Typically, a dimension will be placed in the center of the line to represent the size of an object, and the arrows at the ends of the dimension line are pointing at an extension line. This allows the person reading the blueprint to understand how long a specific dimension is on a blueprint without guessing the start and stop point. A leader line is a thin line with only one arrow at the end. This is typically used to point to a specific point of an object. This can help point out a specific dimension or a note on a blueprint. A cutting plane line is made up of 2 thicker lines with a 90-degree bend in them. Each of the lines has an arrow on them pointing in a specific direction. A cutting plane line is used to show a section view or auxiliary view looking into the part. The directions of the arrows point in the direction that you are looking. When you see a cutting plane line, think of yourself cutting into that object, such as an orange, so that you are inside of the part. By using a cutting plane line, the engineer can show what the inside of an object looks like. This is typically used when building a boxed object with much detail on the inside. There will always be an additional view that you can look at for the specific cutting plane line. If there is more than one cutting plane line, the engineer can communicate this with labeling them with AA, BB, CC, DD. Section view lines are used to communicate what type of material you are working with. There are different types of section view lines to illustrate what type of material is being used. The phantom line is a specific type of line that is used to communicate movement and different positions of a part or detail. This is a medium-sized line drawn with 1 long dash and 2 short dashed lines. When you see a phantom line, the engineer is communicating with you that the object can and will have movement. Phantom lines are commonly used when drawing hinges. The final type of line is called a break line. Although there are 2 different types of break lines, they both communicate the same thing. There is a short break line. It is a straight line that turns into an almost half circle and back into a straight line. There is also a long break line. It is a line that is drawn to be straight and then a long up-down zigzag line. This line is used to show a break in the part for extra detail, or it can be used to reduce the size of the drawing. It is important that the person reading the blueprint is familiar with all the types of lines that are on the drawing. This will ensure that the part is built to the correct dimensions and all parts are in the correct orientation and location.